Have you ever tried accomplishing something and felt like all the obstacles were stacking up against you and there was no way to get it done? Well, I think we've all been there. And in this video, I'm gonna share a powerhouse tool that's just 5 words to help you push through to accomplish even your highest goals. And even when it looks like there's no way that you can do it. All right, welcome back. If you're new to the channel, my name is Ben Ward, and I've led sales teams for 2 decades, and I like to talk about what it takes to succeed as a leader at the highest level, and how to earn trust, gain respect, and drive results with your team. Now, if you're a leader of any kind, I'm confident that you're gonna get a ton of value out of this video, and this is one to share with your sales team. And if you like it, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like it, give it a thumbs down. But tell me in the comments what I can do better for you. Trust me, if you're in sales or responsible for training and leading a sales team, you're not gonna wanna miss out on this video, because it's one thing to know what it takes to achieve success. It's a whole nother thing to get yourself and or get other people you lead to do what needs to be done, even when you don't want to, and especially when you don't want to. And when things are stacked against you, I wanna take you under my wing for a minute and share with you a tool. And in every one of my sales training rooms over the years while leading sales teams, I had signs surrounding the room with positive messages to help us get our minds right to set us up for success. Things like, I will act now, from Og Mandino's greatest salesman in the world. Things like, I will persist until I succeed. Feared things first. Things like, pluck the FUD, and on and on and on. That we'd surround the training rooms with these ideas. And one of these signs was, if I can't, I must. And this is inspired by a book my dad would often have playing in his car when we'd go see him every other weekend. And he'd come pick us up in his car and often have a book on tape playing. And one of his go-tos was this idea that would play and we'd listen to it, called stinking thinking. And all about avoiding the word can't. And if you can't, you must. And this always stuck with me. And in fact, I also heard Tony Robbins live in New York at one of his events talk about this principle as well. If you can't, you must. And so I grabbed onto this tool and adopted it as my own and really made it almost like a ritual to say to myself when I would hear myself say the word can't. If I can't do something. And I didn't realize how often this went through my brain because I missed it so many times when I would say it and I didn't even realize it. Finally, by committing to this principle, I started hearing myself say it more and more. And actually I had a friend that I'd be like, hey, if you hear me say the word can't, hit me in the arm. And so he did. I had many sore arms from that. But I learned to take this word and be aware of it and try to get it out of my brain. And one morning I found myself waking up thinking, I was so tired. I'm like, I can't get up. And within a few seconds, somehow I remembered my commitment and I was like, no, I just said the word can't. And I remembered my commitment. If I can't, I must. And that gave me the leverage to leap out of bed. And so I challenged my sales teams over the years to ditch this word out of their vocabulary as well. And if we heard anyone say the word can't, we gave each other permission to punch each other in the arm, just like my buddy did for me. Well, fast forward to this week, almost everything was going wrong leading up to a triathlon I was preparing for with a friend of mine, Christian White. Now, I thought I was registered already, but it turns out for some reason I wasn't registered. And since the race was the next day, they weren't taking new registrants online. So I'd have to drive 2 hours to get it fixed in person at the site there at the triathlon. And there was no guarantees that they would even let me do the race that close to the event. And also stack on that, I wasn't feeling the best. I was feeling like super, super tired. I'm like, man, maybe I need to just rest. And I also didn't have a bike to use. And so I'm just like, all these reasons why I wasn't gonna work out, and they were stacking pretty high. And I thought to myself, maybe all this was just a sign that I just really shouldn't do the race. And after doing everything that I thought I could do and it just wasn't working out, I just threw my hands in the air and said to myself, I can't make it, I'm out. And I was just sitting there and super bummed that I was gonna miss this event. It was our 3rd triathlon. Yeah, we were like competing together, and I needed to defend my title. And I was just feeling sorry for myself. And all of a sudden it hit me super hard. And I realized I said the word can't. I can't make it happen. I'm out. And my old ritual popped into my head. And I was like, did I just say the word can't? Because if I can't, I what? You said it. If I can't, I must. So I was just like, holy smokes. So I was just like, I decided right there, I'm gonna make it happen no matter what. And I kicked it into high gear. And the first thing that I did is I made sure I could get a bike from my friend. Now, shout out to my boy Justin Aida for loaning me his bike, and also last minute. And I drove the 2 hours to register. Well, to be honest, it was an hour each way, but there was traffic, so actually it was a 3-hour drive, hour and a half each way. Too many details. When I got there, they told me I couldn't register, and I was just like, no. They're like, no, sorry, it's too close to the race. There's too much going on. We're starting another race right now. We're kicking off the event. Sorry, we can't facilitate it for you. I'm just like, I felt kind of like when you're driving at night in the dark and you can't see anything other than what your lights shine on. That was me just taking one step forward into the light where I could see, and everything else is darkness. There was no guarantee, no promise that this was going to work. And I'm here taking all this massive action to get into this triathlon with no promise that it was going to work out. And I actually was just like, okay, I understand. And I just became very persistent with them in the kindest way possible. And they made it happen for me. Well, then I got as much rest as I could to hopefully feel better in the morning for a chance to even feel good enough to be able to go do this triathlon. And I needed to wake up early at 4 a.m. to make it up to the race in time. And here's the thing. After all of that, I made it to the triathlon and literally had the best time, and was so glad that I didn't take no for an answer. I didn't let the word can't. I can't make it happen. I didn't let that stop me from achieving my goal and this personal commitment that I made to myself and to Christian that I would go out and do this triathlon. And the rad thing was I was able to defend my title against him in our third race. Victory was sweet. Well, listen. If you're pursuing your goals, maybe you're feeling fearful. Maybe you're thinking you can't do something. I challenge you to hack your brain and tell yourself, if I can't, I must. Make this a mantra, make it a ritual. Tell your friends that if they hear you say the word can't, that means you must. And let them know they can hold you to it. Maybe you owe them $5 if they hear you say the word can't. Give them permission to give you a cross-eyed look. Give them permission to do something. But whatever you do, get the stinking thinking word can't out of your brain. Because if you can't, you must.